What's good, YouTube? Y'all don't know me on 5, bro. They can't win anymore, bro. Like, my nigga Bron can't win. They just can't win anymore, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? So we reacted to They Can't Win. I don't remember who this video is by.
Chance as winning a title
but
with the Lakers.
Shout out to you, buddy.
Yes. With the Lakers. Yes, I believe so.
We've got to stop blaming general
Bro, LeBron's making another.
Players, what role did you play in this?
That's it.
LeBron's winning another ring. He wouldn't say before he retires for sure. Yeah.
It was a failure in Brooklyn.
K-Snake, like, got bounced out by a young star.
They got no size.
I think this was the most embarrassing swept of the NBA playoffs.
It's the end
wait.
Of the night and the end of the
Oh, I forgot the Suns got swept. God damn, bro. Bradley Beal, Booker, and KD. That's sad.
Steph and for Clay.
This is the third time in 5 years they've missed the playoffs.
You know, you don't get to stay on top forever, so.
Klay Thompson, obviously, there is no doubt that he has fallen off to some degree.
But this might be the end of an era for that big three.
At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
By now, you already know that the time of some of the older NBA players are coming to an end.
Facts.
And this specifically goes to three players.
I like, but once LeBron retires, bro, like, y'all won't see me posting videos anymore. Because it's just like, think about it, bro. LeBron retiring, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of sad, bro.
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Stephen Curry. Personally,
the end of
I think the championship-winning days of these players
now
are
it's
done,
SGA,
unless they make major moves and are playing with better teams in the near future. The reason why I think they won't win anymore isn't because of their abilities on the court. Even at their age, they've still proven that they're some of the best players in the entire league. The problem clearly isn't these guys. Rather, it's the situation they're in. Allow me to explain.
And I feel like they're not the problem no more, right? But you know what it is? It's like before, it was the same thing. They were still in bad situation, but they were just so much better than everybody else and so much full of life that it just, you couldn't even tell, like, yo, how bad the situation was. Because, bro, LeBron really took that 2018 Cavs to the finals, bro. Yo, you put LeBron on that 2018 Cavs right now, they're not even making it past the first round. I ain't even gonna hold you, gang. Not even gonna hold you, gang. Like, it's really clipped. Like, LeBron's not just gonna go coast to coast and just fucking dunk it on you.
First up is LeBron James. On top of the mileage he's already accumulated in the league, LeBron isn't able to carry a team into a deep postseason run anymore. We can't blame him. He's nearly 40. He does, though, have a superstar teammate who unfortunately is injury prone. This past year, Anthony Davis has proven he's capable of playing long stretches of the regular season. When AD isn't injured, he's almost always the best defender on the floor, who could also give you 25 plus points on any given night.
They need like a third star, like, because AD is just not going to take that role.
D'Angelo Russell is either the greatest shooter on the floor or the worst shooter in the country. There's no in between with him. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Taurean Prince all have their moments, but they aren't very reliable, while Cam Reddish and Jared Vanderbilt can't stay healthy. On top of their unreliable roster, the Lakers have recently fired head coach Darvin Ham. Now the franchise is going to be searching for their 5th head coach in the past decade. As happy as some fans might be about this decision, and trust me, I get it, he looks like he isn't doing anything. History isn't on the Lakers' side for this decision. Look back at the previous NBA champions since 2019 and take a look at the head coaches and think about the adversity they went through before winning a championship with the team. Nick Nurse was a Raptors assistant coach for 5 years until becoming the head coach and winning a championship in 2019.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be hard for the Lakers too, because
the only exception, won a championship with the Lakers in 2020 in his first year on the job.
Now you gotta start a whole over and like
get that postseason runs with the Bucks before winning it all in 2021 alongside of Giannis. Steve Kerr helped the Warriors back to the top of the mountain after missing the playoffs in 2 consecutive years with Steph Curry in 2022. And Mike Malone spent 8 years in Denver before hoisting up a championship trophy with Nikola Jokic in 2023. You could also look at some of the losers in those finals and say the same exact thing. With the exception of Ime Udoka, all these coaches faced adversity with their respective teams before getting to the NBA Finals. History shows that this type of chemistry and relationship can only be built with time. Again,
you can't
new
just do it in
coaches
1
can
year,
win
bro.
it or make it far in their
Plus,
first year
I said
on
the
the
Lakers
job, but
is
it's
clip,
less
bro. They gotta
likely
join
than
a
other
team that's already
coaches who have
established.
been around their teams for a longer period of time. And yes, I'm aware the Lakers were just in the conference finals in 2023, but who did they lose to? The Denver Nuggets, who have beaten the team 12 out of 13 times in the past 2 years. If LeBron and the Lakers want to win it all, they'd have to go through Denver more likely than not. Of course, all of this could change if the Lakers were to pull off an amazing offseason acquisition. If they can't, the team's ceiling will probably be in the second round in the playoffs.
Damn.
Up next is Kevin Durant. KD is probably in the worst position out of the three players, believe it or not. What the Phoenix Suns have done in the past 2 years is crazy, just for them to get dog walked by Anthony Edwards in the first round. Like the Lakers, the Suns have fired head coach Frank Vogel after 1 year on the job, so history already isn't on their side. On top of that, the Suns within the past 2 years have given up Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Chris Paul, 4 first-round draft picks, 6 second-round draft picks, and 5 pick swaps to acquire KD and Bradley Beal.
Who ain't do shit in those playoffs.
Their entire future and
that was the worst GM moves ever, bro.
Players on max contracts. With Devin Booker already on a max contract of his own, the Suns are now paying 3 players more than 68% of their entire payroll for the next 2 seasons, barring any changes. The team doesn't have enough money to pay for good role players, and that was clearly evident throughout the regular season, as they were dead last in average bench points scored. The bench especially showed how non-productive they were, as they didn't show up in the last game of the postseason against the Timberwolves. The Suns lost 122 to 116, with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker combining for 82 points, while the rest of the team scored just 34. Bradley Beal, who a couple days before the game said, "We won't be getting swept."
I've never been swept a day in my life, so I can't. I'll be damned if that happens.
Man, you got
came
out right after you said that.
On 4 of 13 shooting before getting fouled out the game. You're probably thinking, why don't they just trade the worst player out of the 3 and free up cap space? Just move Bradley Beal. The only problem is, they can't. When Bradley signed his contract with the Washington Wizards, he had a no-trade clause, which means he can't be traded unless he wants to be traded. The Suns knew this.
That's so crazy, bro. Like, you really gotta deal with Bradley Beal for 3 more years, my nigga. Like, you're cooked, buddy.
Before trading for him,
with no picks, no nothing, anyway. Yeah, you're cooked,
now
buddy.
He's owed over $160 million for the next 3 years by the Suns, unless he wants to be traded away from the team. To give you a bit of perspective of how much the Suns are paying him, next season, he's making more money than both his teammates, Giannis, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Fuck? When was the last time this nigga made an All-Star?
22 points per game in the regular season. For the 2025 season, the Suns are already projected to be over the second apron in the salary cap, which will further prevent the team from making certain moves in the offseason and trade deadline. The team has no money, none of their own draft picks, and no tradable draft picks until 2031. Unless
like, at least the Lakers have hope they could sign something like a crazy guard this summer. But what do you think is gonna sign? They don't even got money.
Kevin Durant
they're not even gonna
trade
like Durant or Booker
in the entire league for the foreseeable future.
You can trade
the only
Beal,
thing
but
going
you can't,
for him
so.
and his championship aspirations is Bradley Beal staying healthy and becoming anything like the scorer he was at Washington.
Oh yeah, no hope.
Lastly is Steph Curry. The Golden State Warriors have been over the salary cap into the luxury tax for the past 8 of 11 seasons in the NBA. And since the luxury tax started in 2001, the Warriors have paid over $600 million in tax penalties. That's $200 million more than the Clippers, who have paid the second most in tax penalties. Even though it has amounted to 4 championships, no team has unlimited money, which is why it was big news when the Warriors owner, Joe Lacob, said this.
Plan 1 or 1A is actually we'd like to be out of the tax. And we think we have a way to do that.
They always start cutting some niggas off.
Not just under the second apron.
To end off last season, the Warriors were paying 5 guys over $20 million. The only significant contract they're getting off the books next season is Klay Thompson. This is their biggest issue in the offseason. After the team failed to make the postseason, both Curry and head coach Steve Kerr have expressed that they want Klay back.
The Warriors never won the play.
I can never see myself, not with those 2 guys.
And I know I speak for everybody in the organization. We want him back.
And Klay himself would like to stay with the team that drafted him, but only if he's compensated accordingly. Klay Thompson's last deal was a 5-year, $189 million contract.
Nah, I don't like Klay should not be a bitch and talk about if they don't give him money, because nigga, you don't deserve that shit. You already got enough money and you was injured. So realistically, bro,
he's currently eligible for
you better get whatever they give you, nigga.
$223 million contract extension. But given his previous 2 seasons,
nigga, you gonna give Klay Thompson $223 million? Yeah, buddy, you're cooked.
Of play,
yeah, buddy, you are cooked.
Unrealistic. In the past offseason, the Warriors offered Klay Thompson a 2-year extension around $48 million, but he has reportedly declined it, and that deal is no longer on the table. Thompson probably feels like he should get paid for what he's done for the franchise, but his
nigga,
play in
but
the
you already
past
got
year
paid for
has
that.
been some of the worst of his career. He averaged his third worst.
And nobody cares about the
game
past,
this
bro.
season,
Everybody cares about
third
the
worst
future.
in field goal percentage in the season, and
So,
second worst in 3-point percentage.
Yeah, he's probably gonna
he
get
came
like
off
80
the bench
million.
for the first time since his
80
rookie
million.
year
That's
in
not bad, bro.
2012,
You
which,
chilling.
by the way, he did
Here we
not
got
take happily.
189
And in the final
before?
game of the season, the most important for the Warriors to stay alive for a playoff spot, Thompson had the worst game of his career.
Nigga went 0
Against
for 11,
the
I
Kings,
remember.
Klay Thompson had 0 points, shot 0 of 10 from the field,
bro.
0 of 6 from 3, all in 32 minutes.
Definitely the same shit.
Klay has always been Curry's right-hand man. They're called the Splash Brothers for a reason. If the Warriors want to get under the luxury tax and retain Thompson, he has to agree to a deal way below what he was expecting. But if the Warriors want to keep Thompson, they probably have to stay in the tax a bit longer. Curry's next problem is Draymond Green. Green has become the most expensive headache in the entire league. Since the Warriors won their championship in 2022, Draymond has punched Jordan Poole in practice, stomped on Sabonis' chest, give or take, put Rudy Gobert in a headlock, and hit Yusef Nurkic in the head.
Yo, this nigga straight playing WWE.
In 2023, he was second in the league for most
UFC
technical
elite.
fouls, and in the past season, he led the league in ejections, was 10th in technical fouls, and 7th in flagrant fouls. And he's also propelled himself to second all-time in ejections in the NBA. And he still has 3 years, over $77 million left on his contract.
He got like 100
Curry's
mil
next
extension,
problem
didn't he?
is his other teammates. After signing his extension in 2022, Andrew Wiggins is going to be making over $84 million for the next 3 years. This past season, he averaged a career low 13.2 points per game, while also getting benched.
But let me see that dunk again.
Andrew Wiggins is going to be making
that was
over
on Luka. I
$84
seen that one last
million
year.
for the next
What's
3
the other
years.
one though?
This past season, he averaged a career low
on Clark.
13.2
God
points
damn,
per
200
game,
yams
while
is
also getting benched
different.
at one point in the season. Wiggins was an all-star starter 2 years ago. Chris Paul, the Jordan Poole replacement, played just 58 games this season and averaged a career low 9.2 points per game, and his second
There's
worst
no way
assists
they
per
really
game
thought we were gonna
average
win with
at
Chris Paul,
6.8. At
He's
age
literally
39,
cursed.
he's owed $30.8 million next season by the Warriors.
30
In
mil?
hindsight, these are all
30
terrible
yams?
contracts.
Oh, yeah,
There's
but
no
he's-
way Curry
yeah,
wins
not making
another
it out.
championship with all these guys getting paid a lot of money for their subpar production. The only thing going for Curry and the Warriors is the development of Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and a dash of Trace Jackson Davis. That's it. No matter how great these
those
guys
players are
are
looking
individually,
good, so
they
they
alone aren't good enough to beat the top teams anymore. It doesn't help either when all 3 of them are playing in arguably the most competitive Western Conference ever. The past season, there were 10 teams in the West that finished 10 games above 500. That has never happened in the league's history. Western Conference teams also finished the season winning 70 more games than Eastern Conference teams. That's the largest differential since 2015.
Damn,
and if you arrange
70
the
more
standings by
games?
just wins and losses, 8 of the 10 teams in the league play in the Western Conference. And these top teams aren't going anywhere either. Anthony Edwards is just 22.
Bro, yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and
These
Luka
niggas are young
Doncic
as
are
hell.
both 25.
They're the new
Nikola
face of the
Jokic
league.
is in his prime right now at the age of 29. Ja Morant and Zion Williamson are returning from injuries, and they both are under 25 years of age. And those are just the players in the
you
Western
saw that
Conference.
dunk by
And
Ja?
they
Like,
both
what the
at the
fuck?
age of 29. Ja Morant
How can you
and
get your
Zion
hand all the way
Williamson
back
are
like
returning
that?
from injuries, and they both are under 25 years of
Nigga,
age.
if I was a nigga
And those
getting
are just
yam,
the
bro,
players
on
in the
God would
Western
find him. I'll
Conference.
find your
For these
family,
older
your
guys
mom,
to win
somebody gonna die.
championships during this age of
Crazy, my
competition
kids are in the
means that
in
there
the
is
understands.
absolutely no room for error. But all 3
My
of the
girls
franchises
understand that you doing
have
that.
errors at every corner.
Oh, that's crazy, kid. He doesn't have a wife. Think about that for a second. He's 35.